Arcdroid actually has the ability to cut 15 inches away from itself, so I've made this 15 inches deep, but I've made it like 58 inches long, and that's because it'll give you the option in the future to add that track system that Arcdroid has come out with. It basically moves the Arcdroid unit itself back and forth, and so that way you can cut really wide pieces. Say for instance like parts that you would need to make a full truss out of. So I don't know if I'm going to go that route, but by making it wide, and in the meantime I can put the Arcdroid on one end of this and use the other end to use the plasma cutter manually if I so choose to. Alright, so I'm starting to cut some small pieces and I need them to be all exactly the same, and so I'm using this magnet here as a fence on the end, and that way when I cut this piece out of angle iron we got from the bed frame, I can just push it right up against this fence that I made using the magnet, and then I know they're going to be the exact same length every time as long as this magnet doesn't move. Okay, so how am I going to put these in the table standing up? I've got all these little spacers right here that I cut, and then this slides right in the middle of all them. These are going to be tack welded between all of the slats, and then when the slat gets used and old, then I just take it out, cut a new piece, and put it in there. A lot of people bought the Eastwood table, which would have saved me a lot of time, but I think this is going to be a lot better because I was able to get this longer shape. Now, if I was cutting these out by hand, I would have just wasted 2 hours. Robert from Atwood Garage asked me how accurate the cuts are to the dimensions of circles and stuff that I put in there. There is a setting you could cut inside, over, or outside the line that you draw. And so to be more accurate, you would draw inside the line to make a 1 inch inside diameter hole, because this is a 1 inch pipe and there's a little bit of a gap there. In the future, I will be testing this to see if this is going to be a nice tight fit. If I have to take a little die grinder and sand the inside of this to get it to fit something, if I wanted a really snug fit, then I'd probably do that. And that wouldn't be a problem. It would be a lot easier than making a whole new bracket. But I like having this little gap for now because it gives me a little spot that I can weld, so I don't have to bevel anything. I'll just weld that up, and it gives me a little bit of tolerance too if I have my hole off a little bit. I don't know, making excuses now, but still learning this machine. Gotta make some more templates.